In this video, we're going to go over the Cash App investing fees that you need to know about to make sure that you're making more money when you invest your money through Cash App investing. If you have any questions throughout this video, feel free to leave those down in the comments below and I will answer every single one of them for you. If you want one free stock through Robinhood, which could be worth up to $200, then use my link down in the description to open up a Robinhood investing account. I actually got a free stock of Facebook, and my buddy the other day got a free stock of Microsoft, so it's possible to get a very valuable stock. Okay, the first thing that you're going to want to do is go ahead and open up your Cash App to kind of follow along. Now, when you get to the main screen, what you're going to do to get into the investing side of things is click that squiggly line. Now, the first fee that you're going to pay when it comes to Cash App is when you sell a stock. So let me show you an example of when I go to sell a stock so you can see what that fee looks like. So here's my portfolio, and I'm actually going to we'll pick 3M. We'll say that I'm going to go ahead and sell $1 worth of 3M. We'll hit next. I got to put in my cash pin. Okay, now this gives you a list of what your sale is going to look like. At what price is your stock going to sell? Now, if you look, there's actually a fee involved. So it says government fees, which is 1 penny. That is one fee that you are going to pay. Now, this has nothing to do with Cash App Invest. This is something that the government just charges them, so they, of course, have to pass the fee on to you. So instead of selling $1, I'm actually going to sell 99 cents worth of my stock, and Cash App is going to take that 1 cent fee that goes to the government and handle it all for you. Cash App itself is never going to actually charge you a fee. So just be aware that their platform is free. This is just something that they cannot get around. So let's go over a couple of other ways as well. If you haven't done it yet, please do me a huge favor and smash that thumbs up button. The next fee that you'll see if you invest through Cash App investing is if you invest in a specific equity. So we're going to go to the search bar here at the top right, and we are actually going to go to ETFs. Now, ETFs are exchange-traded funds, so they're different from single stocks. Now with ETFs, they're usually a group of stocks. So we're going to use the S&P 500 ETF right here, the top one. And in there, when you invest in any kind of ETF, they are going to charge you some sort of expense ratio. Now some of them can be 0.01, 0.02, 3, 4, 5, 0.12, it just depends on the specific one. I can tell you that the ETF that I kind of prefer is VOO and VTI, which I'm going to search for right here. So VTI, for example, they actually charge an expense ratio of 0.03%. Now, unfortunately, through the Cash App investing app, you can't see what the expense ratio is, so what your fee is going to be. But it's in there. Unfortunately, I wish Cash App was a little bit more transparent with that, with these ETFs, but they're not at this point. Now with single stocks, individual stocks, so let me hit back. Let me clear this out. And let me find another. Let's go to Coca-Cola. With single stocks, so for example, like Coca-Cola, you'll never pay an expense ratio or any fees if you invest in those single stocks. The reason that you're going to pay a fee when it comes to the ETFs right there is because ETFs are funds that are usually managed by a fund manager. So because of that, those fund managers kind of need paid. Now, if you went out and bought an individual stock on your own, there's no fund manager or middleman for you to buy that stock. So therefore, you're not going to pay anyone a specific fee unless the platform charges you a fee, which, as I said before, Cash App does not do. So let's go over another way that you could get charged a type of fee if you were investing through Cash App. The next way that you would pay a fee, in this case, specifically a tax, is if you sell stocks at a gain. So if you make money, then you will pay a tax on those earnings that you make. So let me go to an example here. So let's go to Spotify. Here's my investment. So as you can see, I've invested $10 and I have a total gain of $5.84. So therefore, my portfolio is worth, if I scroll up here, it's worth $15.84 because $10 plus the $5.84 gain is $15.84. So if I decided to sell all of my Spotify, if I decided to sell, scroll back down, if I decided to sell all $15.84, $10 of that will not be taxed, and $5.84 of it will be taxed. Now, how it's going to get taxed is based on two different things. The first way it could get taxed are short-term capital gains, and the second way would be long-term capital gains taxes. Now, short-term capital gains tax is a certain rate, and long-term capital gains tax is a different rate. Short-term capital gains tax, you will usually pay more. So if you buy a stock, and if you sell that stock within 1 year, then you will get charged the short-term capital gains tax. You can go look up the rate. I believe it's 0%, 15%, or 20%. Don't quote me on that. I'll put something here on the screen to show you what it is at this point in time, but it will sometimes change based on what the law is at that point in time. With the long-term capital gains tax, so say I held Spotify for 1 year and 1 day. Because it's above that 1 year threshold, that means that it would automatically go to a long-term capital gains. Gains tax. So I would pay long-term capital gains tax on the $5.84. And what that rate is, what that percentage is going to be based on my income, and because it's a long-term capital gains, it doesn't matter because it's above that year, so it doesn't necessarily, the rate won't necessarily change. The only reason it'll change is based on your taxable income, which is going to be different, and it's usually more beneficial to hold that stock above 12 months. That way you can get charged the long-term capital gains tax as opposed to the short-term. So you could hold a stock for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. You would still pay the long-term capital gains tax as long as it was above that 12 months. If you want to know how to buy stocks on Cash App Invest, watch the top video next. If you want to know how to sell stocks on Cash App Invest, watch the bottom video next.